Hello everyone, I hope that you've been enjoying my videos so far, and if you have any questions about them, always remember that if you comment below, I'm happy to respond. Today's video is about your wrist. So we're going to be stretching our wrist, and we're going to be noticing areas where there's tension and where there's tightness in our wrist and the surrounding areas into our hands. So hopefully today you'll be able to find ways to alleviate any wrist tension or pain, maybe when you're at your desk or when you're driving, or just in your everyday life. A lot of times in yoga we put a lot of pressure on our wrists, so today I hope to explore some new ways for you to kind of stretch out the area through the forearm, into the palm, and then around the hand. Okay, so you can find a comfortable seat. If you need a comfortable seat and sitting down doesn't feel good, remember you can always use a block, or you can sit on a pillow if you have one at home, or a thicker cushion. We're gonna start with something very simple, which is just taking our hands out in front of us, and I want you to push through your palms. So you're gonna notice the flexion and extension in the palms here. So you're gonna take a big breath in, push your hands forward. Exhale, press the front of the palm forward. So inhale, raise the palm up. It's gonna feel funny at first and simple. Exhale, raise the palm down. Good, now just start circles with the hands. And then you can start to bend the elbows, bringing the hands back towards you. And then exhale, reverse the circles. The reversing circles should feel a little funky. Good. From there, I want you to slowly reach both hands away and press away, like you're trying to press into walls on either side. So I notice some tension build specifically in my right hand when I do this, and I'm not able to bring my fingertips as high as I want to on this side. And you might notice that as well. From here, we're gonna exhale, roll fist as we roll our hands in, and then push away. So inhale, push away. Exhale as you roll in. One more time, inhale, push away. And then exhale as you roll in. From this roll, I just want you to roll down. Roll down. And then as you do this, you should notice the very top of your arms. So you're starting to ignite those muscles in your forearms. And now keep your fist, and then we're just gonna roll our fist around this time. So you can keep your thumb out or in, it doesn't matter. And then again, reverse. So this sensation should feel minimal, but it also could feel very therapeutic if you have any cramping. From there, we're gonna take our fist into our armpits and then start to drop our elbows down. So I'm not directly in the armpit, I'm in the underarm. And then as I start to pull my elbows down, this applies more weight to the front of my wrist. So you should notice this great pull. From there, you're just gonna inhale, reach away, push your hands out. Exhale, roll your wrist in, bring them in, and then we're gonna press them into our sides, push down. One more time with that sequence. So we're gonna inhale, push the palms away, so press, press, press. Exhale, curl in. Inhale as the wrists come in. Exhale as you press down into the hands, and you should feel that a good bit. So I'm already starting to feel the sensation and notice the difference. From there, we're gonna cross one form over the other, doesn't matter which side, and you're gonna interlace your fingers. Inhale, roll the wrist in towards you. Exhale, push it away. So a therapeutic wrist roll. Inhale, roll it in. Exhale, roll it away. And then one more time, inhale, roll it in. Exhale, roll it away, and all you're gonna do from there is switch the forearms and then recross the hands. Inhale, roll in. Exhale, roll away. 2 more rounds. Inhale, roll in. Exhale, roll away. Last one, inhale, roll in. Now if you're in and you really enjoy this, you can always press pause and repeat this a couple times too. Exhale, roll away. So now you should feel some warmth in your hands. They should feel pretty awake, especially if you're doing this before work. So we're gonna transition to our hands and our knees, tabletop. From here, we're gonna place our palms right below our shoulders, spread our fingers nice and wide. And then as you press down into your hands, if you experience tension right away, you're gonna take your hand, rotate it out slightly. From there, you're just gonna kind of press down and see if any more tension builds. And then we're gonna see if we can rotate the palm all the way around to face our kneecaps. Now you can stay here with one hand rotated back, or you can go ahead and rotate both hands back. Now if you cannot rotate both hands back, you're just gonna do about 5 breaths on one palm and 5 breaths on another. So I'll turn towards you so that you can see my palms are flat and they're facing forward towards you. So you should feel this great pull through the elbow. Hold here, nice and strong. Good. Now, how do you apply more pressure or less pressure? So if I stay forward, it's much less pressure. If I start to sink my hips back, I feel a greater pull through my forearm. So maybe your forearms, maybe you are pulling something or pushing something, so you have that great sensation here, especially if you do boxing. I feel that a lot in my forearms. So this kind of motion can really help stretch that out. Now our next movement is going to be top of the hand down, wrist point out. So one hand and then the other. So again, if two hands are too much, you don't have to do it. And then from there, I want you to act like you have tennis balls in your hands, and I want you to squeeze the tennis balls. So start to make fist and press down through the top of the wrist. Don't allow yourself to sink down. You really want to think about working with straight arms. Then release the tennis balls, and then repeat that. So again, all I'm doing from the front view is palms are open, and then I'm squeezing in. Some of you are going to be able to squeeze pretty far, and some of you aren't, and that's okay. And maybe you're just doing one hand, and then you switch, and you do the other, because it's too much tension. So it's totally up to you on what feels better. From there, I want you to take your hands, so we're right here, and then all you're going to do is bring them back to neutral, so a normal, comfortable palm. And then rotate the elbows out, and then press the elbows forward. Go ahead and roll the elbows out, and then press them forward a lot. And then one more time, roll the elbows out, and then push the elbows forward, which applies the most pressure to the wrist. Press into the fingertips, and then exhale, you're gonna release that. Good. So the last thing that we can do for our hands is we can actually stand on our hands. So this is probably a rather simple pose if you have open hamstrings, but it's a little bit harder if you don't. So all you really need to see are my feet here. So I'm gonna face my toes towards you. I'm gonna take my hands and I'm gonna slide them underneath of my feet. So now that they're nice and open from all of our stretching, I'm gonna apply the pressure to my wrist. I'm gonna lower my head, bend my elbows, and drop down. Side view, if you're confused as to where the hands go, looks just like this. Fold in and pull down. And you can bend your knees a good bit. It's not about your hamstrings here, it's about your wrist. And I want you to notice I can lift my heels. All right, so that's important because that way I'm applying weight forward in the palm. Take another big breath here. And then you're just gonna release that. The final pose, which I would say is the most advanced wrist stretch, would be a variation of locust pose. So I'm gonna show you the pose. I don't recommend doing this if you're very new to stretching your wrist or even new to yoga, but you're gonna lay on your stomachs. Final part to this sequence, this is either your stopping point and maybe you repeat it, or we're gonna take our palm right underneath our thigh bone close to our pelvis, and then we're gonna take the other hand and do the same thing. Now right away, this really starts to put tension on my wrist, and I want you to soften your glutes here. You can stay here, or you can raise your chest just a hair, or if you have the flexibility, you'll raise your feet up. And this puts great pressure through the elbow down through the hand in a safe way, but it's a lot. Take another breath if you're here, and then slowly release the toes. Remove the hands, and then just take a baby cobra pose to kind of relax that. Good. Exhale, we will slowly come up, press back to child's pose, and then release to seated. So remember, you can do one of these wrist stretches every morning you wake up. You can do them at your office desk. You can even have one hand on the wheel, other hand can be moving around while you're driving. Just different things that you can do all day long to keep your body moving and feel safe. Just after teaching you that, my wrists feel super warm and they actually feel really good. So I hope that if you have any questions about this movement, you're happy to ask below when you write your comments or questions, and I'll be happy to get back to you. Other than that, please press pause at any time so you can stay with certain poses longer. And remember, the last two poses that I did show you are rather advanced, so if you're not there yet, that's okay, it takes time. Thanks, guys.